Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for the introductions. It's good to be here today with you, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today for the workshop, which is QF Journey Towards Creating Digital-Based Startup. Before I start, I would like to thank QDB for organizing the conference for the last many years, and always Qatar Foundation is happy to be part of this journey and to be involved for the last few years in conducting a few workshops and getting involved with a few panels. So today we, as a part of Qatar Foundation, will be talking about the journey and how do you support entrepreneurs within Qatar to create digital-based startup. First, we have, I will talk first about our RDI IDKT, which is Research Development Innovations, Industry Development Knowledge Transfer. This is our office, which meant to facilitate the technology to be taken from research grade to the market through commercialization process, which we will talk about in the coming few slides. And then we'll talk about ways IDKT and RDI support commercializations, a few multiple programs for entrepreneurs and researchers as well. And then we will look at the entrepreneur's journey with our office IDKT to launch a successful startup. Qatar Foundation, with the others here in Qatar, either government or semi-government or stakeholders, we have the same ambition to work towards Qatar National Vision 2030, and this aims to transform Qatar into an advanced country, and that's by looking at 4 different pillars, which is human development, social development, economic development, environmental development. And I experienced for the last many years, we have been taking all these 4 directions, and we have been advancing, and hopefully we will meet the vision before 2030. As Qatar Foundation Research Development and Innovations, RDI always triggers transformative change through research and innovations. We always work closely with the researchers within Qatar Foundation, outside Qatar Foundation as well. We facilitate and help researchers to basically take the research outcomes to the market. We're trying throughout this journey to looking or creating value within the research, and at the same time we capture the market or the value in the market to have impact. We help Qatari researchers and innovators within the country together with experts from around the world to address Qatar big challenges. We experience few and many scenarios for the last few years. We had a very good experience. We had very good outcomes and impactful outcomes, which will we be talking about in the next few slides. Right now I'll talk about our office, Industry Development Knowledge Transfer. Usually this is called Technology Transfer Office within universities. And lately, it's not about knowledge transfer, even about industry development, which is combining both terms to help the industry at the same time to transfer the knowledge through our researchers and our technology that we developed throughout many years. About our office, we have to we focus into 2 aspects in our office. First, we support Qatar Foundation innovation ecosystems, and that's by working and serving all the university campuses, plus HBKU, College of Engineering, and the other colleges, and plus the research institutes, including Qatar Computing Research Institute, KIRI, and QBRI. And this, we work with them to identify, first we look at the research outcomes, to identify the potential IP. Once we identify the potential IP, we try to work with the researchers. We let them submit their information disclosures, and from our side, we try to protect it. And throughout the journal, we commercialize the IP within the QF ecosystem. At the same time, sometimes IP, when there is some researcher, they don't know their research outcomes, that can be lead to a patent. So we work with them closely. We let them enhance it more. We bring within our expert and with outside people, we bring people like together until we make sure like all the research outcomes that has tangible outcome can be protected, and then from their protection we can take it to the market. And the other aspect of our as the IDKT office, we work as interface by helping the others within Qatar and the Star of Science, Qatar Scientific Club, QDB, Hamad Medical Corporations, and always we participate in the Khabir program. It's one of our key programs that help local entrepreneurs to protect their ideas. We have been working with these different identities very well. They've been successful stories, and we have a great sort of collaboration that led to monetizing our technologies. So today, our focus of the talk, we will give you basically what IDKT offer for industry in Qatar, for entrepreneurs, for researchers, and even for internal QF identity and higher management. What I'm talking today about, it's very well documented in our website, which is qf.org/IDKT. I encourage everyone to go through the website and visit our update that we updated from week to week with our new technologies, with our services that we provided to the local community. For industry within Qatar, we offer a range of patent innovations, copyright software that can be commercialized as a new product, improve processes, innovative services, and transformative breakthrough. I know like there are many stakeholders within Qatar, companies, governments. Sometimes they have, they want to improve their processes. They want to add some of the, to improve their technology. For example, most of the governments right now, they're trying to adopt digital transformations, which need end-to-end process from a cloud to the fingerprint of each users. So basically, we have many patents that can be transferred or can be basically implemented within this industry. We always open our doors to the industry to come over and look at our technologies, to listen from us, to test it. For this year, I think we have more than 100 patents for ICT for the last 5 years. For example, since we're talking today about digital startup, we are talking about 300 invention disclosures, more than 50 patents, and more than 100 copyright software. And successfully this year, we have more than, the last 2 years, we have more than 22 non-exclusive license. We have created 60 startup that we will be talking about like in the next few slides. So when the industry, for example, here in Qatar or outside, they identify, for example, some of our patents or some of our solutions, what do? They reach out to us, and then we let them come over. We talk about their issues. We show them like our technologies, and before we do this one, we have NDA agreement in place. And sometimes after the NDA agreement, if we feel like the industry sometimes industry or partners, so either entrepreneurs or someone who is interested in our technology. If the technology, for example, very complex, we give them some time, and this can be through something called evaluation license. We give them 3 months to 6 months, and industry, they can evaluate our technologies, they can sit with our researchers, identify the common, the common solution that we have in both parties. And then we start, if they agree after for 3 months or 6 months, if they find the technology fit their, basically fit their need, we comes to the negotiations about the terms and condition, and we sign agreement, and this promotes success for both Qatar Foundation IP and at the same time about the industry. For the last year, we have we had great stories. We worked, for example, one of the examples, we worked with Karwa. Karwa reached out to us. They want to use our Google Map, and from there we give them the model. They look at it, they test it for some times. They share with us their data. After sometimes going back and forth, we reached to the right model. And right now, Karwa is using and adopting our technology Kharta, and some others like Rafiq and some other who are coming in the queue to adopt it shortly. And one of the ways we support IDKT support the licensee through different programs. One is called Innovation Fellowship, and the other called Entrepreneurial Leave. So basically, Innovation Fellowship, it's designed for pre-commercialization technology advancement, and this support mechanism for RDI activities, enabling QF researcher to take some time off to work on their ambition, de-risking the technology prior potential startup. So if we make sure, like these guys, they de-risking the technology before they take it to the market, and this we have two good examples that we had, and right now, hopefully soon, we will have we'll be having two startup that can be going to the market. And the entrepreneurial leave, sometimes our IP, when we license it out, we give the researchers, for example, we let them 20% of their time to work with the licensee, either startup or the industry. We need to make sure all the technologies that we give it to the startup and to the industry, it's very well absorbed by the licensee to make sure the know-how that we have, the technology that's being built is transforming to the licensee in the right way. One of the examples, we have Canary Ai, and this one is based in speech technology. It's called CAST. It's the technology takes the voice to the text. Many people, they said there are many technologies around, but I assure everyone this technology is ahead, even ahead of Google and ahead of the other big companies, because this one is focusing on the in the dialect. We have more 19 dialects within this technology, and basically it can identify the speaker, and it can tell which country or region he's or she's coming from. So the group is led by Ahmed Ali. Ahmed Ali, he's a principal engineer within Qatar Computing Research Institutes. So basically, this technology is transferred to us, is licensed to a startup. It's called Canary. It's based in US and it's based here in Qatar. So Ahmed, he's right now, he has 20 time of his time working with these guys. 20% of his, he has decrease in his QF salary, but we let him, he can be, for example, compensated through the company. We don't interfere usually with the scientists when they work with the startup. So Ahmed Ali, he's been working for the group for the last year. There are lots of advancement. right now, the CEO of the startup, he said, like, basically this whole journey, it's enhanced and make their position in advanced position since Ahmed he was joining his team. Ahmed, he has supervised the team, and the team right now, they are leading the research from their side. And Qatar Foundation, they are owning a big portion, high equity in this company. And right now it's starting generating money. We're expecting the value of Canary, and hopefully by March 2022 will reach to $12 million. For entrepreneurs within Qatar, we always committed to transform our economy, and this by help and QF, and this by QF by supporting the entrepreneurs, and this either through our IP or by launching a startup, and this can be through our office or through our partner within QF, QSTB, or through our Khabir program. For example, if someone come to us and he has this idea, then our program, Al-Khabir program, we give consultation to the entrepreneurs. We look at their technologies. We try to understand from the newcomers or the entrepreneurs about the technology, and then we work with them until we try to draft efficient disclosure and try to protect their idea. We give them market perspective about their technologies. And if we find from ourselves, for sometimes when we work with the entrepreneurs and we feel this entrepreneurs, he had all the ingredients to take the technology to the market, and we feel like the patentability report is positive and the marketability report is positive as well, we basically take him to the next step, and this is our partner through our partner QSTB. And then our partner QSTB, they help the entrepreneurs with the business plan, business model, financial projections, and they work with him throughout 6 weeks. And this through the accelerator program, he will receive all the ingredients that he needs to have his startup to be in a good place before he enters the market. And then when the technology is formed, the business plan is clear, the vertical market vertical is basically identified, and it's all in a good shape. Then through our QSTB or our partner, we can establish a company. They register a company. If, for example, the technology, the entrepreneurs, his startup is built around our IP, he comes through our office. When he comes through our office, we talk about the licensing. We go with him through all the processes. We let him understand the license. We talk to him about the terms until we make sure he absorbs everything before he go to the incubation, and then to the MVP product. And then when he reaches this point, then QSTB, they decide if they can fund him through the PDF, Product Development Fund, and or venture capital fund. So this is ecosystem within Qatar Foundation. We have many good, great stories. We have many startups that went through all the process. We encourage everyone within here in Qatar, if he has he or she, they have, for example, good ideas, and they know the solutions and they don't know the market, please come and visit us at QSTB Innovation Center, and let's talk about it, and we will take you through this journey until we make sure you have a successful launch of product. And then we support our researchers, and this supporting our research, and this one we support them through industry collaborations to make sure like all the research outcomes we have, it goes to the market. We offer them variety of resources to help them commercialize their products, and this by bringing the industry close to the door of the researchers, and we do it from time to time. We bring people from companies within Qatar who have the same interest or the same basically the same issue, and they want to use our technology to basically enhance their let's say infrastructures, their solutions, whatever they have. And through commercialization, we usually, when we have a new IP for researchers, there are two. For our researchers, we help them first by marketing their IPs, and this by first making something called developing COA. It's like type of flyer, flyers, and this flyer we send it to the aggregator. Like they are very well known internationally within, for example, in the energy or the ICT or biomedical, and we let them post it in their website, and from there we receive many interests. Once we receive many interests, we bring the researchers, we let them come together to work with the, for example, the licensee. If the licensee is interested in our technology, he will come through this, for example, marketing agency, and then we come together until we have we reach to an agreement. Either we go forward with the technology, we license the technology as non-exclusive, or we give them or they build their own, they build their startup based on our technology. And then we have technology development fund. This basically, IP, if you look to the invention disclosure or patent, it takes many years to be developed to the market. So there is something called technology readiness level, and it starts from 1 to 9, and one is still very early stage. For example, the idea, it just only talk about, ideations. It still needs sometimes until developed, until it goes to the proof of concept. Even proof of concept may need 2 or 3 stages, may take 2 or 3 years, and this usually in the biomedical field, some of the energy field, some of the, for example, chemical or materials. It needs to go through this journey. So from our expertise and within the office, we can identify the potential of our IPs, and based on the potential, we have to reach out. We don't let scientists come and apply. We reach out to them and said, okay, you have early stage, you have a great technologies, just come to us. We'll give you this fund for this from 6 to 12 months. And we oversee him throughout the development. We make sure like he's developing, he's increasing the high L level until we make sure this goes to the market, or we let him come to the middle. We bring the industry to the other middle, and both of them, they can take it to the market. We have launched the first cycle, the second cycle, right now, the third cycle. We have for 5 candidates, awardees, and they should start soon. And in total, since we started, we have 7, and all of them, most of them, they are succeed. Some of them we license, and some of them we are about to license the technology. And this technology development fund is just only applicable for those within Qatar Foundation or with the technology that's owned by Qatar Foundation. They can apply for this fund, or we can reach out to them based on the quality of their patent. And one of the support we provide through our office is strategy development and creating startup. This, for example, strategy development. This is stage when IDKT with the inventor assistant develop the strategy for either marketing the technology for existing company or for commercializing the technology as a new startup. And this is easily to be identified. Some of the technology, if the technology that basically been developed for the last 4 or 5 years time, we know this one is much better off to go as a startup because it's very well cooked, very well tested, there have done lots of research in it. So we feel like it's better off to take it as a startup, and we can make the ecosystem around it. We can study the market, we can see which market fit make this technology succeed. And if we find the other, for example, technology that we have with our IP, does incremental work. It's very hard to create startup around it, then we make sure like this one is better off to take it through licensing to a stakeholder through an exclusive license. We can give many people this. For example, if you look to the cybersecurity authentications or some of the malicious domain part of it, can be that when it's much better off, can be going to the Ministry of Interior, can be going to Ooredoo, can be going to any stakeholder within the country. For the creating a startup, this is basically, we'll talk about it later on. This is a huge spectrum of development. Starts from the idea itself, through the creation of the startup, looking at the team, looking at the market, getting support of Qatar Science Technology Park, and then we work with our partner QSTP to make sure the startup founders they have all the ingredients to take our technology to the market. And if we find they have all the ingredients, then QSTP they are always happy to support them with the TVF, which is the venture fund. So I guess I stop here. If there is any questions to make the workshop more interactive. If anyone in the audience have questions he wants or she wants to ask me about anything, please let me know so we can have it before we jump to the next section of my talk. Okay, we in QF we have basically many supports, funding support within QF, and this is throughout the journey of start from research development until the industry. So as I mentioned before, we have the funding program, QNRF, Qatar Research, Qatar National Research Fund, QNRF. Basically, it's the funding arm started in 2006. Basically, it's changed the whole research environment with Qatar until make it right now. It's one of the key countries worldwide that can be, researchers or faculties worldwide interested to join us and to come and work within Qatar. There are many top researchers. If you want to attract them, they don't come to any country unless they see the countries, they have all the ecosystem in terms of research. They have the funding, they have PhD students, they have postdoc, and even the quality of people who are working within the industry, they are very strong. So we've been attracting lots of people from different universities, from Europe, from Asia, from Singapore, and they're working right now and contributing to the research community. So this is through funding the program QNRF. And then we have the TDF that we talk about, and this TDF, when we have research outcomes, when we have the outcomes coming out from QNRF, we try to protect it through IP, and then we look at the technology development fund. We try to reach out to those who has strong IP. It has great potential to be commercialized. And then we have the TVF, which is looking from the venture creation to product development. We have the PDA Product Development Fund, and this PDF Product Development Fund has been so far successful. There are lots of good scenarios, good startups that I can see in the market. Some of them, many of them, they started generating money and through this program. And then we have innovation coupon, and this innovation coupon, it's between the product development growth and industry partner. It started last year. We have the first first cycle, and we have the second cycle. Through the support, we have Al Khabir program that we support the local entrepreneurs here. We have the accelerator program. We have the incubations. We have the entrepreneurial residence. And those people, we bring them from outside. For example, if we have in the energy, the IP portfolio, For example, we have many IPs that focusing on the, for example, nanotechnologies. We look to expert people from outside. We let them look at the IPs, test it, and these guys, they are the right ones who can take this technology and try to exploit the the strength of the technology and take it to the market. This is the whole, basically, the whole funding and the support that we provide. And this is more international practice. This is done most of the countries. It's very hard to manage it, but within our partner, we are working closely with them. We have unified the process. We understand each other, and all the people who went through this journey, they had this nice experience, and definitely if they get the chance to come back again, they will come back again and work and try to get the help from the funding and the generous support from Qatar Foundation. Right now, we will look at the entrepreneur's journey with IDKT to launch a successful startup. So first, we look at the elements of commercialization strategies, and this through marketing, foreign relationship, commercialization, for example, processes, and licensing and revenue. When someone from outside is interested in our IP first, we look at the initial applications. We look at the entrepreneurs who want to lead the project, who want to create the startup. We look at the market, the segment. We look at his role in the beginning and post the post deal, and then the structure of the entrepreneur rewards, and we look at the any investment that will take place in future. In terms of marketing, usually when we target why we do research sometimes. So usually researchers in the beginning, before since we are giving away our IP, then the best way or the best one to market their IP, they are the researchers themselves, because before they started or starting doing any research outcomes, they know exactly where is the gap in the market, because they know exactly where is the white spaces, where the value that can be created. They know exactly which companies they are behind, which company they don't the issue they have, and from looking at prior art, from their visit and joining many conferences they contribute to, they are the best one who can know exactly their IPs, and basically they know exactly which companies they can target their IP. So we look, sometimes we said the researcher are in better position to market their baby technically. So they are the best one. They know exactly. So many researchers come to us and they said, okay, we know these two companies. They basically, they form around this IP, but the IP they do have, it's basically our technologies outperform them. We can, through this IP, we can create a value. We can capture a value in the market, and through this one, through licensing technology to them, or through a startup. And then our marketing as well, we look at the research to startup program. So research to startup, this is happen every year. So we had 2 cycles. So research to startup, what happens there? We collect all the potential IP that's ready to go to the market. So they reach to the research plateau. So all the advancement is there. So just only need to be taken to the market. So basically, we try to sit with the researchers. We make a whole report about all the technologies, and then we reach out to international agencies, and through them we can bring entrepreneurs. So for the first cycle, we received 500 entrepreneurs internationally, from local, from region, from international, who are interested in our technologies. And then through the applications, we took them from shortlisted them from 500 to 100, and then secondly we shortlisted from 100 to 24 entrepreneurs, and they came here in Doha. They met with our researchers, and basically for the first cycle, most of the technologies that we have, we had them going to the market. So some of them, they are startup, and some of them they are licensed to to stakeholders. And then we have the flyer. It's called COAs. We have it in our website. If you go to our website, you can see all the technologies. And then from there, if you're interested in any one of them, you can reach out to us and we can start the processes. So if you look to the market, we market the marketing strategy that we do. We are going, if you look to the market worldwide, there are two, the huge spectrum. They are passive and active. We are always focusing on the active one, which is very easy to take it to the market quickly because research is all about time. So if you can reach to the market in timely manner, this is very easy to create value and to have impact and try to generate revenue out of your technology. So when the entrepreneurs he or she they identify the IP in our from our for example from our different portfolio, if he's interested in something, from there we form the relationship. We try to understand the entrepreneur's background. We introduce the entrepreneurs to our scientists who invented the technologies, and before this one we have NDA in place, and from there we try to bring people together, the researchers and the entrepreneur. We let them work for some time together, understand each other. So I think there is always a psychological mind into it. So we basically make sure these guys, they work together, their IPs, to make sure like they have a successful journey to be, so the IP can be taken to the market. So once the relationship is formed, then we move to the licensing. So we ask the entrepreneur to provide effective technology and market development plan. And this one, we usually sometimes we give them support. We help them to make it their plan. We see how serious they are. And at the same time, it's crucial for us. It's about the professional team they are leading the startup. So we are looking at the leadership, looking at the staffing, looking at their background. If they have involved, they have been creating startup before, they've been involved to IPO, they've been involved in acquisition. And this is basically one of the parameters that can make so the process very fast and let the IP goes to the entrepreneurs in a quick way. There, in terms of the lead and the team, the professional team, there are lots of issues that have been happening if the professional team, they don't work together nicely and they don't have the same experience. It can be different experience with the mindset. I mean, then this is really very hard to make this team form together throughout this journey, because entrepreneurs, they are always going through hiccups, many difficulties that need someone who can understand, surrounding, can work with the team in all hardship, in easy, to make sure like the team, they are always in the same page. And then budget and funding plan, this one as well, we receive the budget, we look at them, we try to get back if we have any issues, and to make sure they have the budget. And we always encourage entrepreneurs not to invest, not to put lots of money in the beginning until the pouring like budget within the startup in the early stage that may kill the opportunity later on. So we need to make sure like the budget, the planning, it's smooth throughout the journey from starting the startup until they reach out to the market. And they'll definitely logical development time plan. We try some of them time plan. They are always very hard to determine which the right time plan, but sometimes we work with them to identify and to stick to the time plan, so the IP or the technology doesn't miss the deadline of the timing to enter the market. And then we move to the licensing. So licensing, we say basically it's a sort of a contract between licensor and to the licensee. We always make sure the IP going to the other parties We need to make sure we protect the QF rights, and at the same time make sure like our IP doesn't exploited in sort of an unintentional way, in a bad manner. So we need to make sure all the terms they are set so to protect our site and QF side. And then licensing criteria, we look at the, this one we usually give the entrepreneurs many scenarios. Sometimes we let them do cap upfront fees. Sometimes we avoid this one by getting equity in the company. We payment for IP protections, spread over time. For example, if we give the entrepreneurs 2 IP, then we look at the cost of the IP and we let them pay it for 2 years. This is basically, it's not fixed. It depends on our sort of negotiation with the entrepreneurs. And then we're looking at the running royalty and some of the milestone development, marketing, sales, and timelines. This one basically takes some time. We make sure like the licensee work with his or her lawyer to make sure like they speak the language with our lawyer so we can set the stage for the startup to avoid any hiccup in future. So basically, steps for entrepreneurs to licensing a new IP. So I tried to summarize it in one page. So if someone, for example, is interested for any IPs, first we sign NDA. We make sure we share knowledge about the technology. We let the researchers talk to the entrepreneurs to explore the ideas, to understand the depth of the technology, to understand the guy who is behind the technology. And then we ask entrepreneurs to provide the business plan. And then through the business plan, we let them, take their time to build the right one, to build the right team. And then from our side, we look at it, we have our due diligence, and they can do their own due diligence until we make sure everything's formed in the right manner. And that's from our side to make sure our IPs go to the right entrepreneurs. As I said before, IP, it's all about that. It's about time. And then we start evaluation license, testing, let them test the market. We go to the negotiation, commercialization license, with license execution, knowledge transfer. As I said before, we have this entrepreneurial leave. We let our researchers work with the entrepreneurs for 1 year, for example, 20% of their time, to make sure the depth of the technology can be transferred easily and smoothly to the startup, and this can be with the know-how, full know-how to the team in the startup. So when the researchers come back, these guys, they can lead the technology further and can support their stakeholders they work with in future. We look at the commercial development, we look at the marketing, sales, product, revenue sharing, the use of licensed technology, and usually when we license the technology, we still reach out like in quarterly basis to the entrepreneur, to the startup. We need to make sure like they are doing their rights, there is no hiccup in the companies, things are moving in the right manner. So right now we will, since we talked about this sort of journey and how QF support the entrepreneurs within our community, we have 2 examples of licensing our technology, either this one through existing companies or through startup by forming the startup based on our IPs. So far we have around, since the last 3-4 years, we have more than 30 licensing, and the last 2 years we have 22 licenses, and this through a non-exclusive license and an exclusive license. So for the existing company, for example, this year we licensed to Kharta. For example, Kharta is a map engine created by inventors in QCRI, Qatar Computing Research Institute, and this for routing and estimating time of arrival predictions, exactly like Google Map. And right now we are much cheaper than them, and at the same time, because we understand, the road network within Qatar, we have beating Google Map by 4 to 8 seconds. And right now, Kharta is used by Karwa, by Rafiq and some other ones. They are coming soon. And then we have Saqar technology. It's monitoring and analyzing social media stream. This one is used by Al Jazeera, it's used by Kharta, it's used by Qatar Olympic, and there are a few upcomings. We have Farasa as well. Farasa, they have segmentation, Arabic text diacritizer. We have name entity recognition. We have a parser, and this usually work within Arabic context. They have grammar corrector as well, and this is one of the advanced. It's being compared in one article. It says Farasa and other technologies developed by CMU in US, and they found Farasa is it has accuracy and better performance than the other ones. So so right now we'll talk about some of the startup that had been created through our research to startup programs, and they are first we have this one 2018. It's called Tarantula, and this basically it's in US. This software achieves full automated and highly accurate 2D 3D conversion within 5%. Less than 5% the cost of alternative that's in the market. It's used by VR, it's used by TVs, by movies, and right now they've been developed, they are into the market, so things are looking good for them. So it's US based. Once they started generating money, they will have their office here. And then we have Canary. Canary, they have office in US, which is this based on our technology speech recognition. For 19 dialects. It's used by Al Jazeera, by Minister of Interior. It's used by right now United Nations. Right now it's licensed to companies in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. It's right now there are a few candidates they are utilizing them. So we are expecting the value of this company to cross $10 million within the next few months. And then we have Before AI. Before AI, they licensed 4 IPs based on malicious domain, and this by they are looking at malicious domain. When you give them the domain, they measure its maliciousness based on the association with the other domains. So this one has been successful. The CEO of the company, he's leading company in France, in the within the cybersecurity, be reaching out, and they have right now they are starting generating revenue, and hopefully we see them in future like either acquired or they are by another company or going to generating lots of revenue. And then we have Rayyan. Rayyan is just recently. This is basically when it's moved from us, it's the number of users they are using Rayyan. It's crossed 130,000. So this one mostly it's dedicated for students, PhD students within university. So it's a systematic review, another type of review performed their job in a quick and easy, enjoyable fashions. Rayyan has a website and has a mobile app, and right now they are starting generating revenue, and they have 2 strategy: business to business by giving license to universities, or the other business to see, and these individuals they can come to the website or the web and they can pay fees monthly for this one. So we're expecting Rayyan to be one of the leading systematic review website worldwide within the context of biomedical. So before I close my talk today, I advise everyone to look at, to visit our website. At our website, there are lots of materials, guidebooks, training procedures, can help researchers, entrepreneurs to know exactly what we are doing. And we advise everyone to come and visit us to learn from expertise and to explore the, the funding mechanism we have and the process that we have to make their journey with entrepreneurship successful within Qatar or within the region or internationally. To this, I end up my talk. Thank you very much for listening, and please, if you have any question, let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fawaz. I repeat, does anyone from the audience have any question? Okay, Dr. Fawaz, I assume no one has any question. Thank you for the great workshop. Our dear audience, thank you for supporting our event by attending and contributing. We hope you enjoyed the experience and received beneficial information. And inshallah, see you in our next workshop. Again, thank you, Dr. Fawaz. Thank you for
very
all the
much.
effort.
Thank you.